Good morning, Red Mountain. I'm Nathan, and on this episode of Red Mountain Radio, we got a member of the men's basketball team. Go ahead, please introduce yourself.
What's up? This is Bjorn. I am the starting center for the basketball team.
So, who inspired you to play basketball?
It was really my dad. He showed it to me when I was young, 8 years old, and watching the Suns play like that, they were actually still good when I first started watching them. And that's what really made me want to start playing basketball. Also, when I started playing, there was my favorite team was the Miami Heat because they had LeBron James still, and that's kind of what inspired me to start playing basketball.
You say the Suns aren't good now. The Suns are
they're
good.
They had a lull,
Yeah,
for
I guess you could say that.
7 or so years.
So you mentioned your dad. Do you consider him a role model? And if so, do you have any other role models or players that you look up to?
I would consider my dad a role model. I mean, growing up, I always saw my dad as super strong, masculine, as something I should aspire to be. And he's my dad. He's when you're young, he's your hero. So as I've grown older, I've gone away from that more, but he still inspires me because he's still providing and doing what the things that a man should be doing, right? Other than that, I don't really have any current role models per se. Not really.
So if you weren't playing basketball, what would you be doing?
Before I played basketball, I played soccer, and I was pretty good at it. I could play most positions pretty well. And then I quit soccer a long time ago. So if I wasn't playing basketball, I probably would have just stuck with soccer.
What position did you play in soccer?
I never really picked any position in particular, so I kind of played all of them.
So who is your favorite coach on the coaching staff?
Out of the whole coaching staff, probably Coach Gates. He's the one that pushes you to work the hardest, kind of. He's the one that wants you to perform the best. And then the second would be Coach Burns. He works more in skill work and all that, and they're the ones that improve my game the most.
So you were on the basketball team last year, is that right?
Yes.
So what is your favorite memory from last season?
The first game of last season, the regular season, I dunked on the center for the other team, which felt really nice. And after that, Anthony never passed me the ball in that play a single time the rest of the year. Although it wasn't open most of the time, so because the scouting report showed it.
I mean, you're the biggest dude on the team. They got to give you a jump ball, right?
I mean, usually you just jump at the start of the game. That's it. But the rest of the jump ball is just alternates.
So what do you think is the toughest part about being in basketball?
Toughest part about being basketball is probably the conditioning. Basketball conditioning is probably second only to about wrestling conditioning in terms of difficulty, because you're running the entire time, right? So that's probably when I switched from football to basketball, I could tell in the first few days that I wasn't in quite as good of a shape as I was before.
So you mentioned putting basketball ranked at number 2 in terms of the conditioning. Where would you rank sports like cross country and track?
I haven't ran cross country, so I'm not sure about the conditioning that requires. I would assume that it's very high. And then just regular track, not a whole lot of conditioning. It's more just sprint work. So not quite as high.
Other than yourself, what players do you think we should keep an eye out for this season?
So I think Cade's going to have a really good season this year. I've seen him play during the summer, and his game got a lot better. Another player that we should watch is Peter. He's become a really good shooter as a spot-up shooter. So I think we should watch for those two.
Do you have any new incoming transfers that are looking to make an impact on this team?
We got Laron just transferred in. He's kind of just settling in right now. He's going to play a lot, but he's not quite fitting in perfectly right now.
Now, you are on the football team. What is it like transitioning to one sport to a different sport? How are you going about doing that?
It was actually pretty smooth once you get your schedule figured out. They kind of just let you kind of leave kind of. When I transferred from football, they kind of just I dropped the class, and then I kind of just showed up to the games to watch mostly. So on the sidelines, they still want you to be a part of the program, even if you're not in the classes for it.
Now the schedule did drop, and do you have any rivalry games that you are looking forward to this season?
Looking forward to running it back with Highland. I think we should have probably beaten them in the playoffs last year. Just some unlucky shots. And then I'm also looking forward to playing Mountain View and Mesa again, because They beat us twice the last year, and I think that we have a chance to beat them again.
Do you have any aspirations of playing basketball in college?
I would love to play any sport in college, depending. It doesn't matter really what sport it is, just playing in college in general. It doesn't matter the level, just playing in college.
You have any schools on your mind? Or
Not really any schools in particular, just anywhere kind of.
Now, you are a junior. You have 1 year left of your quote-unquote high school career. In your opinion, will the future be bright for the athletes that will take on your roles in the coming future?
I'm not really sure. So for basketball, we've got this center coming up. He's a year younger than me. He's coming up. He's not as big, not as tall, not as strong, but I feel like he works hard. He could fill my role and probably be better than me, maybe.
So you got some competition coming.
I wouldn't say that, but he's got a long way to go.
That's all for this episode of Red Mountain Radio. Thank you again, Bjorn, for joining us in this episode. Have a great day, Red Mountain. We'll see you in the next one.